And we're live, BC.
On the internet.
How's it going out there, internet?
Hey, everyone, slow down. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do the bit again.
yeah,
It's not how I work.
yeah.
I
If you
like to
want to
keep
hear an earlier bit, go to a now
go. Yeah,
deleted YouTube video.
yeah.
Scrape
You're
it
gonna
out of the
want to.
bowels of the YouTube API somehow.
Yeah, dig through the archives where we give away our email password.
Yep.
So if you want to clear the spam out of our folder, we'd appreciate it.
Lots of podcasting apps wanting us to sign up for their service. That's what the email
Well,
looks
I
like.
mean, we are famously one of the hottest, I say, uh, podcasts on the block. So it's not any surprise
I
that they're beating down the door to get us on their platforms.
I've speculated that we are in the top 66 Star Wars podcasts of the last year that have been created last year.
Definitely, yeah, clearly top 66 in terms of quality. Probably top 53.
I think we're number one, baby. Let's show
Ooh,
them why.
baby.
Let's get into the show.
Let's show them why, yeah, because from a certain point of view is on everybody's lips. Short stories from a few years ago. Ow! That's what everybody's talking
Hey,
about.
always relevant.
That's right. This
Always
is
topical.
evergreen. This is evergreen content, which is what people love. It's the evergreen content.
You see, my hat is all crushed up and funny looking. My home pride hat is toasted.
Yeah.
I meant to re-up when I was back in Arkansas.
Well, from a certain point of view, I think it looks great.
That view being up and very far away.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, let's do the show.
Do I need to clap?
Oh yeah, thanks, VC. A 3, 2, 1. All right, nice.
Nailed it. Here comes one of those patented cargo bay entrances. Everyone on YouTube, hold on to your
For a
butts.
second, I thought that was like a cartoon style bomb, just like a round ball with a fuse, and that you were gonna blow yourself to hell.
Don't think I haven't thought about it.
I mean, if
Hell with
if you're gonna kill yourself live in front of 0 viewers on YouTube, a cartoon bomb would be a pretty funny way to go about it.
It would be pretty funny. No, it's just my water bottle. Unfortunately, it's not a cartoon bomb. There are days when I wish it was a cartoon bomb. Mm. It's fun to laugh.
Oh yeah.
All right, here I go. Get in the zone. Hold on, I gotta concentrate. Hello there, and welcome to the Cargo Bay, a Star Wars conversation podcast being transmitted to you from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I am Brady C, here with my co-host, back from his teaching sessions with Yaddle.
Adam B. How you doing, BC?
I can already hear the Yaddle voices coming through you. Seems like those lessons are going well. Bryce Dallas Howard is really working well with you.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, the massive controversy shaking the internet, BC. Yaddle talks normally.
We're going to spend the next 3 hours dissecting Yaddle talking normally and Yoda talking like a freakazoid.
I do want to know one thing. Would you rather Yaddle have talked
No,
and Yoda
it's
speak?
annoying. I think it's annoying that Yoda talks like that to begin with.
Yeah, I
Like,
do
we
too.
don't need more of that. It's not like, hey, this species is kind of an idiot. Like,
Well,
I mean, I get it. He's talking in riddles. I'm taking the piss out of Yoda, but like it's the old speak or whatever, and how he learned to talk. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't. It's not like Yaddle's got to talk with reverse sentences, or I'm done with Star Wars.
yeah, I was glad that Yaddle did not Yoda speak. I don't care what the canon explanation is. It's fine. I also have long said, like, if you watch Empire Strikes Back, Yoda does do those reverse, sentences every so often. But, like,
Yeah,
and depending on who's directing what episode of Clone Wars or whatever, it can be, like, everything that comes out of his mouth sometimes. Where I'm like, that's not
you're
how it
like,
used to be.
let's all
Uh,
calm down about this. Yeah, no, I think I'm like you. I don't care what the canonical reason is for why Yoda speaks that way and why Yaddle doesn't. If that's how you want to spend your energy, great. Not for me, though.
I
I
mean,
like it
to be
better that I can understand her clearly.
to be fair, I haven't actually seen any kind of like online like fervor arguments. I maybe saw one tweet about it.
Let's
But
well, maybe this could be an angle for us to create an internet
yeah,
shitstorm
let's get
and really drum up some controversy.
let's get up the fervor
I
mill.
yeah, I think we should really jump on that.
What?
Uh,
Uh
anyway, so today's episode,
huh.
we're going to be talking about Star Wars from a certain point of view, specifically the "We Don't Serve Their Kind Here" short story by Chuck Wendig.
That's what the
Uh,
wheel of fate spun for us, VC.
that is what the Wheel of Fate has spun, but like anyone who's really good at denying their fate, I think we should talk at least a little bit about the most recent episode of Andor, maybe little Tales of the Jedi before we jump into the literary classic that is "We Don't Serve Their Kind Here."
I think so too, BC. We're of course saving most of our Andor thoughts for our big, 3 episode wrap up as we're at the beginning of another 3 episode
Ooh,
arc. But it's a
ooh,
big week for Star Wars, BC. We've got simultaneous series going.
yeah. I had a good Wednesday morning. Woke up and I was like, do I do Tales of the Jedi first or do I do Andor first? I went with Andor because it's the best thing on television currently. Did not disappoint. Um, I think I'm just at the point now. I'm like, every episode's better than the last one.
it's it's wild that there hasn't been a real stinker yet, or even just like a slight stinker. I did think this was the reverse of last episode, where last episode I was like, all right, kind of bored with the Andor side of this, and this one was kind of the reverse, where it was like, I want to see the Andor parts.
Give
The
me more
the
prison.
Coruscant wasn't quite as hot as the
No,
the previous episode. And this is the longest episode, so a little bit of me was
yeah,
like, just cut a scene or two. That's not so spicy.
yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I had a great time. BC, I was telling you over the Discord that the Hydro prison is
Mm.
that's such a great design for a sci-fi prison. However, I'm scared of dams. I grew up around big scary dams that scare me
Okay.
for whatever
Yeah.
reason, and
Uh-huh.
that really tapped into my little kid primal fear of like, oh, there are big scary vortexes of water going down into the deep dark ocean. It's scary.
Got your
Uh,
damn fear going.
mm-hmm.
That happens.
But yeah, I had a great time, BC. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well.
I
Uh,
mean, it's it's hard to like I enjoyed it. It was one of the most hopeless episodes of television I've ever watched in my life. And I was like, it's so good. It's like it's just so like depressing, but like it just is making the world so much richer
yeah,
for what the empire is. And I was like, oh, it's so good. And just like it just is like soul crushing and just like the
yeah,
right way, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like
Ex-
step on my soul, Star Wars, Daddy. Let's go.
exactly my favorite flavor of Soul Crush.
Yeah. Um. Do you so you obviously you love the damn any scenes or moments specifically that you loved?
Um, I also like seeing Saw. That
Yeah.
was cool. I've been looking forward to that. Also, like that the intro is Saw being like, "No, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do what you want."
I don't think so. Yeah. It's. I think he fits perfectly into this. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's like this is the world Saw Gerrera should be inhabiting. he always felt like a bit too much of an extremist for a cartoon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and in this, you're like, yeah, this guy fits in this world pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him in that. I also thought, I mean, why isn't this the headline? Snoke.
Yeah, that is
We
that
now know the Snoke origin. He's the
there is
prison guy.
actually there's some people I saw, like, the general response that I've seen in my Twitter circles is everyone just kind of laughing at, like, websites that are meant to milk, like, views from nerds, like, trying to
Right.
spin up anything in this
Right.
show that isn't, like, kind of nuanced
Yeah.
and like, oh, it's Snoke. Not the biggest Andy Serkis head in the world, BC, but I thought this was good casting. I thought he was good. Uh, yeah, I'll take that.
Hey, I love Andy Serkis. He's Gollum. He's a pioneer
I
of the
mean, that's
motion
kind of all I
capture
know.
film.
It's like, hey, that dude's Gollum and Snoke, which
He's good in the what was the weird Planet of the Apes movies that they
yeah.
remade. He's really good in those.
Does he
But
play?
again, it's
Is
I
it
mean,
mocap?
yeah, oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's what he does best, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good to see his actual head and face and stuff and his real body. But real shame they're gonna have to transform that into Snoke soon.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to be the final episode of Andor. It's the beginning of Snoke. I wanted to ask you a few questions, VC. I had some polls running over on the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
one was, what do you think those big shoes are about? It's a bad government contract deal. Someone getting a little payout. Or are they Heelys? Are they gonna have a sweet Heelys reveal where the guards are
Well,
chasing them down on their?
not to reveal my vote that I did vote on, but they're definitely the Heelys. Actually, no, I love those shoes. When I
Yeah.
first time I was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "Oh, it makes sense." But okay, I get the shoes now, which I thought was a great way to do it. But this is weird, and it probably is my brain mixing things up. Do you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, yeah, that does looks pretty similar.
I remember them having really big weird shoes that helped for their like boing jumping. Like, that's like how they justified Bob Hoskins like jumping like like Super Mario was these big like shoes. That was weirdly the first thing that came to mind. Probably also because I recently saw there's a clip of Bob Hoskins that makes its way across the internet once in a while where he's just talking. It's like doing press for the Super Mario Brothers thing. And he's like, "Yeah, I've just signed up to do the Mario Brothers movie." And then he's like, "My grandson pulled up the Nintendo and I see this going on." And he just goes, "I used to play King Lear." Like he didn't realize that he
It
signed up
was
to
for
be
a
a
video game.
Nintendo movie. He's like, "No, it's this movie where me and my Italian plumber brother take on an evil underworld.
We
Totally normal stuff."
we got to put that movie on the Wheel of Fate, BC.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be
I
a.
I think I think back in the day we may have even opened some Super Mario Brothers movie
I know that
cards.
we had requests.
Okay. I'm not
From
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if we
Cargo Bay
ever
fans. The
ever did.
they were a little harder to get our hands on. Um,
Should
but
we look into doing a classic Cargo Bay Twitch stream where we
oh
just go
yeah,
and buy like 10 packs of weirdo stuff and crack them?
yeah, absolutely. I just remembered something, BC. In my non-sport, maybe I should. We'll keep this for hobby talk if we do a little episode
Okay.
of hobby talk coming up.
Okay.
The other question I wanted to ask you about Andor, and again, they got the big shoes on because the floors get hot.
Spicy floors.
They got the hot floors.
You got to motivate the
Um,
workers.
but the other question I put up is, what are they building in there? And
What's he building
the
in
most
there?
obvious answer is they're just working on stuff for the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's poetic.
Yeah, it's the most poetic justice that you could do.
I,
But any giant imperial machine is going to be the same payoff.
I thought it was probably for the Emperor's froyo like locations. It looks
Well,
like some sort of crank turning.
He's franchising that
turbine.
imperial soft serve, so you got to get those machines up and running. galaxy wide if you want to do it right. You want to cast a wide net immediately. So you got to get all those Froyo stations up and running.
They did have the Froyo, the sustenance Froyo, in that little in their little bunks. But yeah,
Yeah,
BC,
it's like the prototype.
good fun episode of Andor. I was excited to have
Fun,
the
yeah.
prison arc, and yeah, I'm excited to be here in it. What a delight.
I mean, I was kind of like nervous going into the prison arc, but as soon as I saw visually what they were doing, I was like, I'm in. I was like, so give me a season of the prison show now. Like, I bought it immediately, and I was
Yeah.
foolish. I'm never gonna doubt this show again. Like every turn has been like, no, trust us, we're gonna do the cool thing with where we're going, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm nervous about the prison. Like, no, we're gonna do a THX style 1984 weirdo totalitarian prison sort of thing. I was like, yeah, you got me again. I
A-
love this.
And my favorite chunk of every like fantasy or sci-fi like epic series where it's like, oh, our main character is a part of this team that has to do a terrible task. Like that's a non-war terrible task, unglorified. Yeah, it's exciting. And also we had that little bit of sign language between the tubes. What
Yeah,
this show just looks so good all the time. it looks
yeah. No,
looks
it's
really
crazy
good.
how good it looks.
Even
It's
the
insane.
digital locations look so much better than stuff has in a long time. Like
If the rest of Star Wars doesn't look like this going forward, I'm gonna be upset. And I'm just like, we talked a little bit about like last week how Andor may be spoiling the rest of Star Wars.
uh
But if they don't realize that this is the level that everything that they're doing should be at, then shame on you, Disney.
yeah. Shame on you.
Shame
Why?
on you and your house.
But I also I saw a video floating around of the actor who plays Senta just like gushing about how she read, not say she was in, said she read the final episode of the season and that she thinks it's one of the best things ever written for television. Like
Ah,
the question was
Christ.
like, what's your favorite episode? And she was like, oh well, it's the last one. I had the pleasure of reading it. like like
Man.
yeah, I'm stoked. I'm excited. We got 4 episodes left. Is that right?
This was 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, yeah.
Well, what about Tales of the Jedi, BC?
Justice for Dooku! Justice for Dooku!
Now, I haven't seen the very last episode, but I was loving the Dooku, BC,
I was too.
making Christopher Lee seem even cooler is always right with me.
I thought it was great. I love the Dooku stuff. I
Yeah,
was a big fan of it. I, it, you know, I don't know. Did we need Tales of the Jedi?
no,
I don't think so.
it is weird.
It's nice to have it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just feels like this weird, like, hey, we spent a lot of time and money on this, so here it is. And I was like, great, but it doesn't feel like, I mean,
In contrast with the show that is pointedly not about Jedi and reaching a little further than Star Wars has in a long time, to have another show that's like, oh, here's kind of a slow thing that is again about the morals of the Jedi, like, and there are no big surprises really. It's just kind of like, yeah,
no, good guy's gonna good guy, bad guy's gonna bad guy.
yeah,
I mean,
didn't
I think there's a little more complexity to Dooku. I like that you see his sort of like. I mean, there's a to a degree. You're kind of like, I mean, he's got a point.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, where it's
yeah.
like,
I mean, when he's and full spoilers, cover your ears.
spoiler alert,
Uh,
spoiler alert.
but when he's gonna murder that senator, it's like he's like, we gotta root out the corruption. It's like, yeah, man, kill that
It's like
guy.
it seems like that guy probably should die. Yeah, I'm kind of Team Dooku on that one. I'm
Yeah,
not
he,
gonna
he
lie.
betrayed his village and they're all in poverty except for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
get him out of here.
seems like he might be the problem. Um, But that Jedi morality, man,
Yeah,
you know,
but
you can't mess with that Jedi morality. And it does make sense that Qui-Gon,
yeah,
probably one of the chillest Jedi out there, when he's
yeah,
like, "Man, my master was ready to just rock this senator's face off." So he's like, in episode 1, you do get the sense that Qui-Gon's kind of like, the Jedi Council's kind of bullshit,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I
Uh,
do. I do like. I do like that scene we see of them later together after. Or I guess that we see of um Obi-Wan and is it Obi-Wan and Dooku? Yeah. Right.
there's Qui-Gon and Dooku. There's older Liam
Uh,
Neeson voiced
I
Qui-Gon.
guess that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah. Where it's just like Dooku is like, I'd like to meet your Padawan. It's like you see their relationship being like
Yeah, he's
distant
he's
or whatever.
talking he's talking to Qui-Gon about young
Yeah,
Obi-Wan.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like that scene. And the other thing that was weird though, and I have seen a little bit. I haven't gone into the internet discourse, but I'm guessing that what people are arguing about when they're talking about this altering the canon of Star Wars in a way they don't like is that um Mace Windu is just like I'm all about the rules and am very like by the book and simple, and it's like no, I mean that's never been the way that he's been portrayed before, in my view, and I imagine that's what people are up in arms about. As I mean, specifically, the last thing he did before he died was like, "No, we don't have time for a trial. Like, we
I'm
gotta
gonna
kill
go
this
handle
man."
this right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Here's the deal about people getting up in arms on the internet.
It's
I
never worth it.
I don't
I'm
know.
just using that as I'm not trying to dwell on that. I'm just trying to use
No.
that as an intro to like, this is something worth talking about. Maybe
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't
No.
upset
It's
me. I was just like, yeah, Mace Windu is lame as hell in this,
yeah. Yeah.
like, which is
He's
a
like a
bummer.
total corporate nerd. But you get a little like the slight of like, is that why you are now on the council, Master
Oh
Windu?
yeah, yeah.
um,
It's funny.
he's like, well, I wasn't gonna cut a face off, and you were, so they put me on the council. I don't know. I'm just like very pro Dooku in these
Yeah,
episodes.
that
I
blue
don't know.
that blue saber looking cool with
With
the
the
Dooku.
curved
Yeah,
blade, yeah, or the curved
the hilt,
hilt, yeah.
Torino. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought it was good. I know you thought episode 1 was poodoo.
yeah. I don't love media focused on children, much less like
You do famously
babies.
hate children, yeah.
I don't
That's
hate
established canon
children.
that you hate children. Yeah, we know. No, we all know. Everybody knows that you hate children. It's okay.
I don't serve their kind here.
Ooh, hey, that's a good segue. Just do want to touch episode 5, the clone episode with Ahsoka. I thought was particularly good
Oh, that might
as
have
a
been where
call.
I fell asleep watching this last night.
It's a good callback to the final season or the last arc of the Clone Wars at the very end. There's a nice little payoff at the end of it. Again,
The Ahsoka
they're
stuff is
fun,
flooding
but
back. That one with Anakin was weird. Um,
where she keeps getting blasted in the sun.
yeah, where she just gets tortured. Yeah.
The payoff is that she's. Did you fall asleep
I
during it?
no, I think I finished that one.
Because the payoff is it's her and Rex
Right.
going into the room of the clones after Order 66
Yeah.
when like 300 clones are about to start firing on them and they've got to escape, and his final line is, I hope all that training paid off.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
I
like, that
remember
was
this now.
it's a nice tie-in, but I think you've got to be pretty connected to the Ahsoka lore, such as I am, because I'm a big Ahsoka head. But the way they tied that, because at first I'm like, this is just kind of a frivolous thing of her being shot
Yeah, it's
over and
like
over again. But to have the payoff tie into the moment with her and Rex going into that hangar with all the clones about to fire on her, when it's like all we've been seeing is her being knocked out cold for like 10 minutes
yeah.
of this episode by clones, is like, all right, what are we getting to? And then they do pay it off fairly well for the the Order 66 moment with her and Rex.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I remember this now. Yeah, always good to see Ahsoka. Unless she's
Mm.
a little baby in the
Tiny little
woods.
baby riding on a forest tiger. Ahsoka is Jedi. I thought I think the animation is like amazing. Like the level of animation is amazing. The
Yeah, it's very
score
pretty.
on them, I thought it was
We had
really
some
good.
Andor stuff slipping in there. They're using more of that kind of synth, a little bit
Give
of
me that,
synth wave leaking in,
give
and
me
I
that
like it.
synth wave
Yeah,
in Star Wars, baby. It's the best.
it's time for it. It's synth time in Star Wars.
Well, from a certain point of view, it is.
Oh boy, here we go. BC, the Wheel of Fate brought us a short story from a short story collection from a certain point of view. I'm guessing this whole collection is Star Wars as seen through the eyes of minor characters. Am I correct, BC?
Ooh, you nailed it. You nailed it. I'll give you the publisher's summary. Are you ready for this?
Wait, let me try not to. I might wet myself from excitement if I don't if I don't prepare for the
Hold
publishers.
hold your bladder.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is the cover. Fantastic. In honor of the 40th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope, this collection features Star Wars stories by best-selling authors, trend-setting artists, and treasured voices from Star Wars literary history. More than 40 authors have lent their unique vision to 40 scenes, each retelling a different moment from the original Star Wars film, but with a twist. Every scene is told from the point of view of a background character, whether it's the X-wing pilots who helped Luke destroy the Death Star, or the stormtroopers who never could quite find the droids they were looking for. Womp womp. Star Wars, from a certain point of view, places the classic movie in a whole new perspective and celebrates the influence and legacy of the unparalleled cultural phenomenon, Star Wars.
Wow. Well,
I mean,
BC,
that doesn't get you just rock hard to read some Star Wars. I don't know what does.
it seems like this might have been something distributed to people as like here's what you're going to write about and people treated it like a homework assignment. It
Here's
feels
your writing
a
prompt. Here's your freshman writing class prompt. You
yeah.
need to write a Star Wars story from a character's perspective that can't be a Luke Skywalker or an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now we were lucky enough to get We Don't Serve Their Kind here by Chuck Wendig,
Chuck Wendig.
who has since been expelled from the
He's-
Marvel Star Wars universe.
he got kicked out for some tweets he was tweeting
Uh
during the previous administration.
uh
That's all we'll say about that.
I'll say a little more. I'll
I
say
love it.
rest in power, Chuck Wendig.
Justice for Chuck.
Yeah,
Um,
bring him back. I did not enjoy your short story very much, but I'm on your side.
yeah, Chuck, prolific writer, uh, probably most well known to Star Wars fans for. I found this out. He's the creator of Cobb Vanth, uh,
Hey.
who appears in the. It's the prequel to the sequel trilogy novel trilogy Aftermath. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay, good.
BC, I am several books deep into I believe it might be Aftermath, it might be something else entirely. That series that I was listening through.
I think this is gonna be different. Yeah, this
I
is.
think this is connected, but it's this is a Fate of the Jedi series I'm deep into, I think. I think I finished the second High Republic book, or I'm at the very end of that. But yeah, I did not read the intro to Cobb Vanth or the book he wrote that intros Cobb Vanth.
No, I didn't either. I guess they were well enough received.
It's Star Wars fiction is a thing. It's its
Yeah.
own thing. The standards are not extraordinarily high for the pros.
No.
But
um,
some people are better at telling interesting stories. I don't know much about Chuck's work in the universe.
the only thing I know about Chuck's work in the universe is what I've read in a short story, which is from the point of view of wooer,
Wooer.
wooer,
Wooer.
word, wooer, wooer.
Wooer.
Wooher,
Or
famously the bartender in the cantina scene. Now, I know you particularly have been clamoring for his perspective
uh-huh.
on that fateful day in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Uh, did this short story live up to your expectations?
Woo boy, BC. If if I could only read 20 pages stretched out from the most surface level, like what is this guy's day like? Adventure. This is exactly what I want it to be. I mean, basically, what we learn is one thing, which is he does not like droids because his parents were killed in the Clone Wars by droids.
Turtle Day. It's
That's
a
the
validation for his anger.
And we get some nice stuff about the mundanity of his life in the cantina,
Yeah.
but mostly what it is just like every moment that happens in the movie, except he's like, "Hey, that's happening right now." Like it's like
It is a little beat for beat.
instead of it
What's
being like Luke reached out and tugged on the bartender's garb, and said it's like, "Hey, that guy is reaching out and tugging on my garb."
now when you're here's the thing. Here's the problem with this
I'm
story.
sorry
You
I'm
can't,
laughing at this. It is fine. It is fine, by the
it's
way.
fine. It's not bad. But here's the thing: you can't put Chuck Wendig in a box, which is exactly what this
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
They say you got to tell us a Star Wars scene from the perspective of war and make it interesting, and you're just kind of like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I'll hold on. I do want to quote because he throws some shade at some Lucas dialogue in here at a certain point.
Uh-huh.
He's when they're
Says
talking.
Han Solo said something slick, I remember before.
This is okay. So it's this is when what's his name? I don't like you either.
Oh, Amazon or
Yeah,
whatever.
Amazon. You just watch yourself. We're wanted men. I have the death sentence on 12 systems. Wooer thought, who says that? Who says that? Who announces that they're a God's blamed criminal with a death sentence? Might as well print your bounty number across your head. Make yourself a target to every whack job with a debt to pay. I just love that he obviously was given the assignment, went back and watched the scene, and then you've got the character saying, "I've got the death sentence on 12 systems." He's like, "That's stupid
Yeah.
thing to say."
And it does fit the because the one thing about this background character, BC, he's got a great vibe. In episode 4, the guy playing him, he's got a he looks tired in a very authentic way. I feel like, and yeah, that seems in character with him.
In character, here I'm gonna try my best to give some credit here.
Okay.
So, and you're gonna have to go with me on this because it's a stretch for me.
Okay. All right.
I mean, a bad day at work, obviously.
Uh huh.
Body parts
Uh huh.
and full bodies that need to be cleaned up. How routine are we talking for Wooer? I mean, is this a routine? Not only are you bartending, but you're also as a de facto almost like coroner, almost.
Yeah.
Pretty tough job.
I mean, I think we're to believe it is somewhat in the line of normal duties, but not so much that it doesn't cause him to think about maybe a new life on the horizon.
Maybe.
Even for Wooher, there's a possibility of a greater life out there. And also, we do need to clarify. We do clarify in this short story, even though he is prejudiced against droids and will
Yep.
not serve droids, he doesn't think slavery is a good idea.
Multiple points. He comes out as anti-slavery,
Which is a little suspicious to me that
he's anti-slavery, but anti-droid.
he thinks about it a lot. He thinks
now. Okay, now, but hold on. I'm gonna go from a certain point of view here now.
Okay.
Now go with me on this.
I'm with you, PC.
Droids did murder his family.
They did?
Now I wanna pin this down because this is the one meaningful thought that I may have had reading this. which is we as Star Wars viewers are introduced to the droids essentially as cannon fodder for the Jedi.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like Lucas went out of his way to be like, they're basically just like butter that's supposed to be cut down by the Jedi. They're non-threatening. They serve no purpose. They're just there to be they're just there to look cool and be killed by lightsabers.
Yes, this is fair.
So we as the audience are like, those things suck.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm putting on my Andor cap. I'm taking off my George Lucas Jedi cap. I'm putting on my Andor cap. Now, if you're just a regular person and a battalion of battle droid rolls up, well, it's a little more intimidating if you don't have a lightsaber and Jedi powers. So,
I mean, it's
and it
scared baby Mando.
scared baby Mando, scared baby wooer
Yep.
as well. So hey, I don't think I can get all the way there on justifying the droid hate, but I can, from a certain point of view,
Uh-huh.
I can see why he doesn't serve their kind there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really I don't really have any problem with that decision. I mean, we could talk about our stance on droid liberation and are they alive or not? I don't know, BC, but I've never, you know, I'm not standing up for the droids in a universe that the aliens are treated poorly.
Right.
I'm not taking a stand for you droids.
Yeah, and PBDO knows that because he's been just gathering dust in the corner
Yeah,
for a while
PBDO.
now.
The batteries died on PBDO, and he takes D batteries.
We have
So.
we've not recharged him or got new batteries. So, any PBDO heads out there? If you've been wondering where
If you send an email to the Cargo
We'll
Bay
do a
Pod
PBDO
at protonmail.com, we will rescue PBDO. But until we get an email about it,
Yeah.
he's staying
which we're not
before.
going to check for 3 months.
You see, I don't even know what I was trying to say. The dude hates droids, seems like he's an asshole, but not as much of an asshole as he could be. He's got a bad life. This was just kind of a sad little story.
This is literally the notes that I wrote for this. Anti-slave, anti-droid, saved by Jedi from droids during Clone Wars. Healthy fear of droids.
Oh, that's
Bad
right.
day at work.
He specifically was saved by a Jedi. I forgot that. When he sees Obi-Wan's lightsaber, he's like, no.
He's like, yeah, I remember seeing the glow of a blue lightsaber that saved me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool stuff.
Great. The end. Chuck Wendig.
I hope Wendig got a little paycheck for that because they won't let him write for Star Wars anymore.
I mean, it does make me want to read more of this, just because I'm sure there are like diamonds in the rough. Of,
yeah.
This is the short story to read, but Wooer as the main thrust is not particularly good. I'm pretty sure there's a Biggs.
Nice.
There's a Biggs short story in here, so that one's probably pretty good. But yeah, Wooer, not high on my Cargo Bay recommendations list, but a worthwhile project for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars: A New Hope. I think they did one for Empire as well, and I'd imagine we're approaching 40 years for Return of the Jedi.
Wow.
May get another one coming up next year.
Wow. Wild to think about, BC. Also wild to think about Return of the Jedi and the end of the original trilogy, and be like, and then after that, Andor. That's the next best Star Wars. We got the thing that is currently happening.
Peak Star Wars right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to those next 2 episodes.
Oh,
a lot going on, BC.
I am thankful that the season 2 is confirmed, that it will be shooting.
Yes. Thank goodness.
I can't wait to see that. Hopefully that is released next year. We don't have to wait too long before we get the next one. But I'm glad that's already like production is happening, confirmed, stamped, approved.
Yeah.
Go forth and conquer, Mr. Gilroy.
Yeah, thank goodness they didn't wait on the numbers on that one.
Yeah, yeah, not the most popular Star Wars.
I think it'll build over time. It'll be it'll be a mainstay. I think it'll continue to bring some new people in, but we'll see. Anyway, that was from a certain point of view. BC, you know what that means? We got to spin that wheel, don't we?
Ooh,
We
you're
don't have
right. We
we
do.
don't have
We
anything
do
else
gotta
on.
spin that wheel. We don't.
Uh,
Wait. No, I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
Nope, because we did that Clone Wars episode
We
with
did.
Yoda.
I'm spinning the wheel of all Star Wars content. It's going round and round. So many hundreds and hundreds of things. It is landing on Darth Bane, Rule of Two. This is a novel, BC. It's one of my favorite Star Wars novels. I'd be happy
Nice.
to. I've got that on my audiobook library. I'd be happy to check that for the next time we I guess it would just be next week if we wanted to do it. I could do that.
All right,
I
yeah.
could give you a
I'll
summary.
dive into some Wikipedias and some summaries and some. I don't really know much at all about Darth Bane, which
This
makes me a bad Star Wars fan.
this is the book, and it introduces a lot of Sith lore. Obviously, I think it's really great. At least I remember it being really great as far as Star Wars novels go. Maybe my favorite or second favorite of the Star Wars
Nice.
novels. So yeah, I'll give it a listen and we'll see if that holds true.
All right, okay, yeah.
We could talk about that next week on the car. I don't have any problem listening to all of that, BC, because I've been playing No Man's Sky on the Nintendo Switch and listening to audiobooks.
Snap. Rocking it on the Switch,
It
huh?
is wild. I love down demakes, as they're called sometimes. I love ports from one system down to the Switch that shouldn't work. Entire game is on a physical card. Almost no features cut. Like, it looks worse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just incredible to me that
It's
thing
still
works
in
on the
an
Switch.
infinite and expansive universe.
Yeah. I've been
the likes of
wondering,
which
like,
the world has never known.
when does my Switch fill up? Like, when is my memory card gonna fill up on there? Is what I keep thinking about as I, land on planets and build a fleet and walk around in space. It's a very strange experience to have on a tablet, like that big and play on an airplane.
This little guy?
Yeah, that little guy. Just an infinite world in there.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been great.
I don't play enough of it, but it's every time I pick up my Switch with intention, I'm like, this is amazing. I love this thing.
Yeah, it does feel like the future I always dreamed of.
Yeah.
Now, I want a skin that makes it look like one of those those funky Imperial tablets from Andor. Not my
The giant
favorite
iPad?
Yeah, not my favorite design in the show. But BC, my theory about the Star Wars universe having infinite power and low materials for microprocessors remains true. The only people who get those data pads are those high-ranking Imperial ISB officers.
You gotta get at least a couple blue dots on your chest before you can
Get a
access to
crooked
your
iPad.
Imperial pad. Yeah.
I
Your
don't.
Imperial pad, shortened to iPad.
Holy damn!
Oh my god!
Well, on
Is
that
that
note,
where Steve Jobs got it from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? Imperial pads? Are we all just members of the Empire walking around with little Imperial pads in front of our face all the time? Oh my god!
think about that. Out.
Yeah, why don't y'all suck on that thought nugget?
Oh, gross!
It's okay.
It's
nobody's
just
listening.
Gristle.
Adam,
It's just
maybe
gristle.
nobody's listening.
I know. If you somehow are here for whatever reason, thank you so much for listening.
Shoot us an email. We'll check it in 3 months.
We'll be back next week with some more bleep 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 bleep. Bye forever.